Hello, everybody. It's Joe from the Strange Voyage Files, and today I am doing the comeback album, the big one for Alice Cooper, Trash. Now, this album comes out in '89, and Alice had a bit of a resurgence with Raise Your Fist and Yell, which I'll go on record right now, I think is a much better album than this one, and then Constrictor, which I don't think Constrictor is as good as Raise Your Fist and Yell. It's still a good album and better than this one. I initially, I don't know. I was thinking, which one do I do? Which one do I do? Kind of was in the mood to do an '80s Alice. I was like, let's do the big one. Let's do the one sells a million copies. Is a monster success, and it's number 20 on the charts. I said sells a million copies, which is good. We want this for Alice. Alice is a great guy. And as an Alice fan, you want nothing but good things. You want him to be successful. And then, of course, he follows it up with Hey Stupid, which is extremely successful. Excuse me. Is extremely as successful as well. This one, no, it actually, wow. Hey Stupid did not. I thought it sold at least 500,000 copies. It did not. Huh. Oh, well. And then after that, Alice kind of goes back to Alice and releases other albums that aren't nearly as popular, but a lot of people really like those albums. I got to get around to listening to some of those. I listened to Welcome to My Nightmare. I don't remember much about it. And that, I think, is the only Alice album I've listened to all the way through after Hey Stupid. I have not listened to any other. That's not right. I think somewhere along the lines I listened to like Dirty Diamonds and maybe The Eyes, or Along Came a Spider. I think I listened to that at some point. I couldn't tell you the first thing about it, though, about any of those albums. But I do vividly remember Trash. And I have a funny story. So, where I grew up in Harwood Heights, Illinois, it's a suburb of Chicago, but it's really weird. Harwood Heights and another town called Norwich share a border, and they are surrounded by the far northwest side of Chicago. Chicago would love to annex them, but you have to surround a town by all four sides to annex them, and since they share a border in the middle, they could never do it. But at any rate, so I always went to Rolling Stones records, but there was also a Musicland, and I can't remember the name. This is terrible, man. I was good friends with this guy, throughout years of going to Musicland. There's another place called Musicland. I went there for years and years and years. And I got to know a guy that worked there really well. Really good guy. I'd spend hours in there talking to him. My God, I can't remember. I can picture him. I'm looking right at him. Can't picture his name to save my life. That's a shame. But at any rate, I get home. I don't know where I was. I was out and I get home and my mom says, hey, whatever his name was, called you from Musicland. He said, get over there right now. Goes, tell Joe, drop everything, get over here now. Get over there, and I walk in, he's like, you missed him by like 15 minutes. I missed who? I missed what? What did I miss? Alice Cooper was going to cities when he was on tour, and I did not see this tour, but he was in Chicago, and he had gotten a garbage truck in different cities and gone to record stores, just an impromptu. He didn't know, the guy I knew there did not know Alice Cooper was going to be there. This was not, Alice Cooper just showed up, and for whatever reason, it would kind of make sense because we went to the Rosemont Horizon. That's only about 15 minutes away from there. So it would probably make sense that he went to that Musicland, but he went in there. He said he was the same story you hear over and over. Alice was just the nicest guy in the world. He couldn't be more friendly. Had a bunch of albums for people. Signed them all, signed posters, signed this. The whole no, I take that back. He did not have a bunch of albums. He bought because he didn't. That's right. He didn't want to mess with the inventory because this was not announced. He bought all the copies of Trash and signed them for people there. And I remember the guy telling me there was like people there had no idea who Alice Cooper was, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll take a signed Alice Cooper." He bought out their inventory, and then I believe he gave them more after that to replenish their inventory. Taking pictures. He was just supposed to be awesome. And it was not a long visit. I don't remember. I think he was only there for like 20 minutes, half an hour. It was just enough before people started flooding over there. Word got out and people started flooding over there. And then he disappeared. I guess went to another record store somewhere. But at any rate, or maybe just went to the one. I don't know. But I know he was doing that in cities. So I missed him. That's probably my favorite Trash memory. But this is the one, it comes out in 89. This is where, hair metal has destroyed everything at this point in time. Nirvana is just over the hill, ready to release its garbage Seattle crap onto the world and ruin music for the next 10 years for sure. But I don't think we've ever recovered from the mix of the idiots band like Poison and what other crap was out there? Bullet Boys and Cinderella. Oh, that band sucked. And then the Seattle grunge garbage invasion. I think if this album would have come out 3 years earlier, Alice, the follow-up, probably would have been more well received. But at any rate, let's talk about Trash. A lot of big names in the writing of this one. Taking a look at some of these songs here, you see, the name that was gold back for hard rock and I don't really think every heavy metal, but for hard rock and hair metal and whatnot, Desmond Child's involved in this. Another big name, Diane Warren. John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora co-write a song. I don't know who the hell Mark Fraser is, but there's a lot. There's big names. Who produced this one? Desmond Child produced it. Yeah, that would kind of make sense. At the record plant in New York, done at the record plant in New York City, Power Station. You see just some. This was an absolutely a big event here. Joan Jett, I hate Joan Jett. I think she sucks. But she co-wrote a song that I love on this album. Probably the only song I can say I like from her. But the album does well. And it's definitely a high point for Alice. I do believe where this album is good. And it is pop metal-ish. It's, he embraces this whole thing. So did Ozzy with Ultimate Sin. So did Iron Maiden with Somewhere in Time. It's no... it may be a tiny bit more to the Bon Jovi Poison side than Ultimate Sin and whatnot. I don't think it's any less poppy than Turbo by Priest. So, but it is what it is. It's the album is what it is. And again, we all love Alice. So hey, he deserved to have a big hit. All right, so let's go through these. Again, this album, where it shines, and man, where it doesn't shine, it is crap. All right, the first one, the lead-off single, one of Alice's best songs. I don't care who says what. I do not care. I love Poison. I've always loved Poison. I have never gotten sick of it. When it comes on today, I blast that song. I absolutely love the video. Is awesome. Video was perfect Alice. The song is Alice. I love Poison. It is a 5. Absolutely awesome song. The next one, Spark in the Dark. I always thought that maybe that was kind of a, hey, let's be like Ozzy, and because the second song on Ultimate Sin was Shot in the Dark, and I would say this is the Ultimate Sin album for Alice. Definitely not good as oh no, Secret Losers. I don't even know what I'm saying. Secret Losers number 2. But Spark in the Dark is definitely not not as good as Secret Loser, or Shot in the Dark by any means. It's a big drop off. It's an okay song. It's not a complete filler, but it's not anything that I would run to listen to. Spark in the Dark sounds like almost anything that you'd have on a hair metal album in the 80s. It's a 3. Next one is a single again. I absolutely love House of Fire. Again, it's the Joan Jett song, and I can't stand Joan Jett. I hate Joan Jett. But she was able to write this. I think it's a great song. It is a 5. The next one is really this is the first one where the album really starts to tank. Why Trust You? It's Allison, Desmond Child. Does nothing for me. It's a 2. I said House of Fire is a 5, right? The next one is another single. It's the ballad. When that formula was there. Only My Heart Talking. I always liked this song. I don't think it's a perfect song by any means, but I do think it's a good ballad. It's a 4. Bed and Nails is the next one, and this was a single too. Kane Roberts returns. Yeah, it's awesome to see Kane Roberts on this one. It's a good song. It's not. It starts out very Alicey, very reminiscent of the old days, and then goes into a regular pop metal type of song. But it's good. It's got a great hook. It's got it's got a good melody to it. Bed of Nails is a good. I could see why it was a single. It's a 4. I do remember the next one, this Maniacs in Love with You. I don't know if he played it a lot or what, but I do know that name, and I think it did make the rounds. It's a 2. It was bad. It's very, did none for me. That's definitely a 2. The title track Trash is trash. It's a 1. I don't even know where they were going with the song. There were 1, 2, 4 people wrote this thing, including Alice. I think everybody definitely didn't earn their paycheck on that. Trash. The title track sucks. It's a 1. Hell is Living Without You is actually not a bad one, and that's our Johnny boy, John Bon Jovi. Man, the combo. John Bon Jovi, Richie Sambora, Desmond Child. Hell is Living Without You. You know what? John can write a good song here and there. He's got some good songs. Every album he's got, there's a couple of good songs on there. And this one isn't too bad. I give it a 4. Hell is Living Without You is a 4. John and Richie did a good job on this one. Then we end it with I'm Your Gun, which is the total sexual innuendo, blah, 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 which is fine, especially for the time. If it works, it's a fast-paced song. It does. I said Hell is Living Without You is a 4, right? Yeah. I'm Your Gun sucks. It's a 1. Absolute trash. Throwaway song. I wouldn't ever want to listen to that thing again. Average them all up. I'm actually kind of surprised because I thought this album would be a 2, but you average them up, it's a 3.1. Averages to a 3, but I guess, there's a lot of people. There's 3 4s and 2 5s, so yeah, I could see it. I can live with a 3 on this album. Once again, I don't think this album, outside of the singles, I don't think many people would know any of these songs. I sure wouldn't. In fact, outside of Poison, I don't know if a lot of people would know many songs from this album. Just over the years that probably were forgotten. But it's an interesting album. I mean, I would probably listen to it here and there, skip over some tracks for sure. But it's not too bad. Again, I think if this came out in 86 and Hey Stupid came out in 88, Hey Stupid probably would have sold 1 million copies. But Hey Stupid comes out in 91. Yeah. God, I'm looking at some of the. I got to do this one. I don't even know if Dangerous Tonight, Little by Little. Wind Up now. Yeah, it sucks. But it is what it is. Anyway, um, not a bad album. You know, if you're bored and you want to listen to, kind of want to listen to, you know, a more of the hair band, but more into the metal. This is a good one. This is definitely a good one. There are again, there's some couple songs that really, really suck on this. So, all right, that's my review of Alice Cooper Poison. Gotta go back. I gotta do Raise Your Fist and Yell and Constrictor, and of course, you know, the Alice Cooper band stuff. I've not gotten the new Alice Cooper band album. My kids sing when they do homework. Can you hear that? You probably can't. If you can, then I'm sorry. I can't sing. I love my children more than anything, but they can't sing either. Um, I have not listened to it because when I heard Black Mamba and Say Whatever You Want, I thought that song sucked. So I have not listened to the new Alice Cooper band album yet. I got to get around to doing that. Probably get that over sometime over the holidays, over Christmas break. Yeah, I do say Christmas break, or Christmas, you know, whatever it is, you know. A break is really I got a few days off, but Christmas break really doesn't fall into it. But all right, tell me what you think. Did you guys like this album? And like, subscribe, and I will see ya.